What's up, everybody? Welcome back and welcome to Wednesday, February 5th, day 2 of round 2 of Climb the Mountain. Getting into it, this morning I weighed in at 326.2 pounds. That's down a pound and a half from yesterday, which is awesome. The blood pressure measured at 140 over 76, so that came down a little bit as well, so that's another great thing. Um, then, as far as sleep's concerned, I ended up passing out for 12 hours, so still pretty worn out, I guess. And then the exercises coming back probably wore me out to some degree also, but um, not ideal, but I guess at least I'm trying to get back to average here. Um, Going into food, for breakfast I had a string cheese and applesauce. For lunch I just had the fruit and protein shake, and that was all planning towards dinner, which I had macaroni and cheese and drank some milk with it. And then for a snack I had some popcorn. Looking at the food diary, the macaroni and cheese really like wrecks the day pretty badly. Tried to plan for it, like I said, but the that particular meal is a real wrecking ball for the food diary. Um, did a decent job overall. There's some changes you can make there, but that's just one of our staple meals in the household, so just gotta work around it a little bit. Maybe eat a little bit less, but um, not too shabby overall, just imperfect. Then I'll get into talking points, just some things I thought about since yesterday. The first one I want to cover is, without going back and listening to it, I don't know that I spoke well of my mindset that I was talking about over the last, 4 or 5 weeks. Really just wanted to acknowledge some things and point out like the little things I was beating myself up over and how much damage it was causing. Um, and it's just to say, it's really not worth it, and um, just try to do a better job managing those things. But I'm the same guy. Like if I'm playing a video game and my character dies or I screw up, I get like irrationally angry about it. And if I do a project at work and I really think I did a good job and there's some like even a minor detail wrong with it, I'll lose my temper over it. So that's just an obstacle I have to personally, um, I guess, get over or manage in some way. But that's the only reason I bring it up. Not trying to make excuses for what happened, just things that I thought were relevant to the situation. On top of that, uh, as far as the diet, far enough into the project where I do want to try to be as strict as possible. Days like today, I want to be the worst that it gets, so I'm going to try to make that happen. Um, Fast food's going to be pretty much entirely cut out. I'm thinking of having a cheat day on one of the days of the week. I'll come up with that, um, see what works, but that'll be the plan. Just try to make the food diary as clean as possible. Um, Another thing, I found out at the beginning of January that my treadmill's got about an hour and 20-minute limit to it. At one point, I was running on the treadmill and my hand accidentally slapped the kill switch, so I lost, I think it was like a half an hour of time that I had spent on there. The machine just completely shut off, so I had to think whether or not I wanted to just bail on it or actually get the time so that I could take the video of the time at the end. And I decided that I didn't want to come away empty-handed, so I started again after half an hour, and I could smell the machine getting hot. There's this really warm rubber smell that starts to kick up after a while, and I got to about 45 minutes the second time, and I wasn't paying attention. The machine shut off, so I went from running in place to suddenly actually running, and I almost jumped over the front of the treadmill just out of nowhere. So it will overheat and shut off, so I've got to be aware of that. With that being said, I'm going to try to keep my sessions to like an hour. Just it hasn't happened as long as I keep it to right around an hour. And I've been trying to do a better job of cleaning it and doing what I can to reduce friction. I've read that the over time the friction builds up a ton of heat, so I'm trying to mitigate that as well. Um, So I am going to try to do a 5K in the middle of the year. So that's 3.106 or 7 miles. So um, I'm trying to at least go that far for the time being and then just improve my time, and we'll see where that gets me. Another thing that I hadn't been able to go over that I'm aware of, I had seen the doctor in the beginning of January. He was extremely happy for me that I'd lost around 40 pounds. My blood pressure at the office always, I guess, gets measured very high, so that's kind of frustrating. But he did say that he thinks that if I show the same progress over the next 3 months, and I've got another appointment at the beginning of April, that he would be okay with me coming off of the blood pressure medication. So that's going to be a big goal for me. Um, Another thing that I talked to him about is I had an injury many years ago when I was working. Ended up, it felt like I tore my shoulder blade, and it felt like cold water was running down my back from my right shoulder. And I remember it hurting for a long time, and I was too stupid to go to the doctor. And, after a while it went away, and for all these years it had stayed dormant. But recently, since I've gotten into weights again, this discomfort has shown back up in my shoulder, and it mostly just happens when I'm making slight movements with my arms over and over again. Like, for example, when I'm jogging, my arms are going back and forth. It'll start to surface then. Um, Doctor thinks that it may be part of my spine, but didn't want to look into it any further. Just want to see with the weight loss and my strength routine if that will improve. So um, it hasn't gotten any worse, and it does come and go. So we'll see what happens with that. And the last thing I want to talk about is just my goals for this period. Um, I wanted to hit, what was it, 330 pounds by New Year. I was able to hit that and then lose it, and then we got into this situation. So I am back under 330, so that's great. My second goal going into the new year was to get down to 300 pounds by my birthday. I'm still going to try to do that. That's March 30th, so we got, just under 60 days here. And I think I'm just going to try to get into the 200s. Try to put a 2 at the beginning of my weight. I think that would be really exciting for me. So that's going to be my current goal, and that's about a half pound a day or so. So that's very doable. Just going to keep working at it and try to have as few setbacks as possible. And that's it. That's as much as I could think of going into today. I'm sure there'll be more that pops into my head. There usually is, but I will cut the video there. Uh, just thank everybody for watching. We'll keep climbing the mountain, and I'll see you tomorrow.